to protect her.
Baxia and Joy might be switched around, so some of them can go for the XP and some might go for that jungle. But I think that the jungle has been settled and we will see an Akai by Leo, and it is comfortable pick after all.
Now, what I can tell from both these drafts is that these are hero compositions designed to just straight up brawl. These teams understand that they want to meet each other head to head in the battlefield, and that's exactly what we're going to get with a lot of utility, a good amount of front line, as well as all the crowd control you could ever need in the hands of these players. What I'm expecting is going to be a bloody game 3 between Team Falcons and Nightmare Esports. The land of dawn beckons once again. How will this intense series conclude between two worthy opponents?
It's almost like it's a battle of the front lines, man. The Baxia being tanky, but so is the Terizla. Whoever gets picked off first, it's going to be a race. Can you take out the target that you're trying to pick off before his team can counter-engage on you? Because for both teams, that's a very possible option. But Super now, already with a very promising Iron Hook.
Yeah, as I told you, Team Falcons, it seems like we have seen Franco so many times with Team Falcons in the MPLI, but not with Super, it was with Maru. And here we can see him with Super, and it is doing really good. But what's also really good is Jasmine's first kill, and Goodnight is forced to use his Flicker.
Goodnight has to be a little bit more careful here. He's positioning aggressively, which is good, but at this stage, there's no way he's going to be able to compete against a Lilia and Kufra at level 2. Team Falcons got to slow it down, make sure they don't get punished for their aggression like we saw previously.
Well, for now, look, keep your eyes on the mid lane, because with an agility and a wilderness blessing, it's all about that roam. The Kufra from the side of Nightmare Esports going with the firmness for extra bit of tankiness here, whereas for the Franco, it's of course the focusing mark in order to make sure that he can get all those pickoffs. But this is the problem, man. If he lands a big Iron Hook, a big Bloody Hunt, who exactly is supposed to finish off the target? Beatrix comes to mind, but that's a bit later with some items. Before that, the best they can use is the Valentina. And especially if they hook the Baxia or the Kufra, I don't think the Valentina has enough in the early game at least.
Yeah, that early to mid-game burst is going to be lacking for the side of Team Falcons. They have a lot of setup, but if they don't have enough damage to follow up on it, we're going to see some similar issues we've seen in the wildcard so far. I think probably the best choice would be to steal like the electrifying beats maybe, and that would be close. But it's still hard to say whether it truly would be enough. For now though, the turtle is going to be contested.
Yeah, the turtle was brought to you like a while ago with the camera by ROG, but here we can bring to you the fight. Jasmine's trying to take a little risk, but he's not still level 4, so he will be in a really big trouble if he goes in, and he does go in, he commits to that, and he's now trying to push away Hakai, but of course, to continue with that fair gameplay, we have to go for a technical boss.
Real quick there, I saw Lotric raise his hand, so you have to wonder what exactly is going on. Man, a pause in the middle of such an intense turtle fight. This could make or break the whole engagement. You really have to feel for these players.
Yeah,
in the Land of Dawn.
This is one of the worst times to have to encounter a pause here for both these teams, because no matter how good you are at the game, it's always going to take a quick moment for you to reorient yourself once the game gets going again. And in a situation as high octane as this, the first turtle of the game, who knows what could happen?
Well, as you can see here in the camera, maybe something's happening on Falcon's side. Yeah, it is on Falcon's side, because I can see Leo's so worried, he's looking back and forth at Hulk's phone. And I don't know, that fight, that was actually a potentially good kill for Team Falcons on the Kufra, maybe also a turtle, but I don't know, was there, the jungler was even there?
I think the junglers were involved as well. Oh, the Kufra though initially missed the initial engagement between two players. It's very unfortunate. But bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, at home and in the arena. It's important for us to make sure that sportsmanship is protected and maintained at all costs. Even though we're going to be waiting for a little bit, We're gonna make sure that the games go without anything, impacting the whole game.
Because in the end, what is going to be at stake here are the lives of these players. Their one opportunity to make it to the M5 stage, the biggest MLBB tournament in the world for the year. So if they are encountering some issues, we gotta make sure that those issues are ironed out as fast as possible. Again, we're very grateful for all of you watching at home for being patient with us. We gotta make sure that everything is all good. And right now for Team Falcons, they are in the better position, but I'm a little bit worried because I did see like the Joy in the top lane. She's gonna be coming in from the back side here, and I'm not sure if that angle is protected.
Well, if you look at the players from Nightmare Esports, they also seem to be in the right state of mind right here, as well as Falcon. They both seem quite confident, quite eager to get back into the action. I do believe, I think, Falcons will be able to pick up and punish that failed engagement, but afterwards, that's the main problem. What can they do? With an Akai available for Team Falcons, I think they will definitely secure the turtle, at least on paper, right? We'll have to see if Nightmare Esports can try and find something that really works here.
Well, for Team Falcons, I cannot actually separate whether it was like focusing or like the expressions was I am focused, or was it stress? Because they just came from a loss. So
True.
I don't know if Team Falcons actually have it together after that lose. So will it be, look, at the face of the players, I think that, yeah, I think it's mostly focused, but there is some nervous on the stage between Team Falcons members, right?
Yeah, they definitely look a little bit disgruntled, and perhaps, like, honestly, I think we can all recognize that did affect their gameplay somewhat in game number 2. I'm hoping they'll be able to pull themselves back together, but has this happened to Team Falcons before?
To what? To be
nervous? Kind of a not so good state of mind during the game.
Well, at Mina, or like generally, even at the MPLI, Team Falcons mostly either go all the way in, or once they like struggle or let's say stumble, it's a little bit hard for them to come back up.
So the recovery time is a bit concerning here, especially for you. I mean, Yasu, this is your boys, bro. Like, you gotta be very concerned right here. It's looking good for them by all means, but again, the mental component in this game, in a tournament this big, can't be understated, man. Sometimes that mental state alone can make or break a game. So I think both teams have to really focus up right here. Try and, fan the spirits of competition, for lack of a better term, right? Make sure that they're keeping their heads in the game and, making sure that they stay focused.
It's one of these things, right? It's difficult to say because people will look on the outside and think, oh, you're just playing a game, there should be no problem, you shouldn't be tired, but all of us MLBB gamers, we know very well just how exhausting it can be, especially more so for these teams up on stage right now. So make sure you guys share your words of support in the comments. Make sure they're able to reach the teams and give them the energy they need.
Well, maybe it's not a physical game, but it is indeed a mental game. So they are now mentally challenged. They are now mentally stressed, nervous, maybe focused, maybe like a lot of mixed feelings can be on that stage. So do not underestimate how much pressure it is to have on a player. I'm not gonna say just in like local tournaments, MPLs, but you are here at the international stage. You are not home. You are not with the people or like playing against people you even are familiar with. So it is gonna be hard, but we're gonna go ahead and go inside the game. Let's see what's gonna happen. We are already at that bot lane, having the kill quite fast on Jasmine, and the turtle was secured by Team Falcons. Joey Viana is now trying to get under the skin of Hulk, and Hulk so far is getting poke, and he's losing so much HP.
It does look like the state of the game is a little bit further along, so we're gonna actually get an instant replay for what happened right as we left off.
So I think Falcons, they secured the turtle, and then they immediately went for the chase. And they do have the tools available this time. And Hawk, though, does not land it. Juviana,
We
but they just
almost
made a big
missed some
outplay.
action. We just might have missed some action. Juviana might have just died by too easy for Lexi. Commits to that engage, and the land is lava for Team Falcons. He had to use his flicker away. Good night. Goes back, and Team Nightmares are enough with what they had.
Yeah, a little bit worried here. Team Falcons does seem to be jumping the gun just a little bit. The fact that they only lost Hulk despite that overdive might be good, but here comes Nightmare again.
Oh, Nightmare is going in, and look at, there's a suppression happening on Super. Too easy for Lexi, is now too hard to escape, but he is away. It is not too hard for too easy to escape. He is still alive.
Literally too easy for Lexi, but now the turtle could be open for Team Falcons. We'll see whether or not they're able to secure it. Most likely the answer is yes. And yep, that's going to happen here. Nightmare, do they actually want to take this fight? I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't think so, because there's no use out of this fight, right?
Yeah, not really at this point. Just Juviana trying to be as aggressive as possible, trying to get something in exchange for the, the failure to get that turtle. Well, for now though, Team Falcons are still in the lead by all means, but that death push strategy, like we saw earlier, we've mentioned this. They can go and lock someone down, but who exactly is doing the damage? Logic used the Bennett's Rage earlier, but I'm not sure if it actually landed. It might be slightly off, which allows too easy for Lexi to get out of there. It's definitely unfortunate, but if you look at the levels though, Leo and too easy for Lexi, they're like competing here.
Yeah, it is almost equal in terms of everything, and here we have Leo having too easy for Lexi. He's in, there's that flicker from you, Jasmine. Jasmine takes down everything, of course. The kills are for you, Kami, but the maestro behind that, the mastermind Jasmine, goes in, flicker ultimate first kill, and everything goes down to Team Falcons.
Jasmine literally just crushed the dreams of Team Falcon in one fell swoop. What looked like an amazing engagement and free kill on too easy for Lexi resulted in a two-man Tyrant's Rage catch and the loss of their marksman once again. Nightmare Esports, I don't know what happened, but they do seem to be online.
Man, it's mechanical outplay after mechanical outplay. And now look at who's raising their hands, man. It's the side of Nightmare Esports. Fortunately, it didn't happen in the middle of a big engagement. After such a big outplay, now we're back to a small break, so please bear with us. We're trying to maintain the integrity of the tournament right here.
Ooh, this is going to be quite the marathon here. Not just for us, but for these players as well.
It's kind of intense, actually.
Yeah, like, literally, their stamina is being tested to its limits here, considering the state of the game right now.
Look at Goodnight, dude. So wiping his sweat and all that.
I can't blame him, you know? Like, can you imagine how it must feel to be in the position of those 10 players up on stage?
Well, they are mentally merged with the game right now, so whatever is happening in the Land of Dawn is getting into the heads of each player, whether it was on Falcon's side or even on Nightmare's side. But I think that they are all nervous, not just Team Falcons. Even Team Nightmare seems to be a little bit nervous.
I think the big problem that a lot of people don't really recognize, I feel, just in case some people are wondering, is the fact that in this kind of game, right, you're not moving and setting up plays for the current moment. You're actually planning things out, setting it up for like 5 minutes in advance. So there's a lot of things you have in your mind, like a checklist, you know? Oh, manage waves, like gain vision, right? And when you're trying to keep all those things in your mind for a prolonged period of time during a tactical or a a technical difficulty like this, it's